See, DJ means to me, what it means to me is it's my main source of my expression. It's my only outlet. My good mood, bad mood, anything happens to me, I can just get on my turns and forget about everything else and just create and just let it all out. That's what DJing is to me.
What is DJing to me? It's basically able to create something out of something basic into something more complex. Take it to the next level.
For me, DJing is like it's a musical instrument that like no one is aware of. It's like for a pianist, they play piano or guitar, so play guitar. We play the turntables.
I think DJing is more like a way of life. It's like when I wake up, I DJ before I go to sleep. I DJ, you know, it's like the greatest form of like self-expression, musically wise.
You got the club DJ, the
Radio
mixed
DJ. Radio
Mixed
DJ.
DJ, yeah.
Mixed Radio DJ. What are we?
We're
There's like
more
ballad
of,
DJs or turntable instrumentalists.
I think the line is drawn where it's DJs play other people's music, while turntablists, we take sound and make our own music through manipulations and through our hands.
What inspires me is watching other DJs because they're like inspiration to me. They're just like able to create, and you get ideas from that, and they're able to create your own ideas. That's pretty cool.
What inspires me is getting to practice with a lot of other DJs who are on the same wavelength. You guys all get together and just create, and something happens, you guys click, and before you know it, you're elevating to the next level, and that's what inspires me.
Or just like the ideas will pop into your head, and you just try it out on the turntable. It's like, whoa, that was great.
A lot of verbal too, like you can make sounds with your mouth, like with the scratch, like you know, come out with your own patterns out of nowhere. You do that.
It's a language, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're talking, like
we can talk to other DJs among us. We can I can tell you, yeah, I got this one scratch, jump, and you'll understand what I'm saying, and you'll picture it, you know, you'll try to picture in your mind how it sounds.
Yeah, you can even play that music, and just like as with jazz, if another alien from another planet heard it, they'll dig it, you know?
Yep.
Like, oh, that's weird. Who invented scratching? Grand Wizard Theodore. From where?
From New York.
The Bronx.
You know Bronx, New York.
I heard that when he first debuted scratching, he used two copies of Sex Machine by James Brown at a party. People went wild, I heard.
Well, he told me that he was in his room and he had the headphones on cue, so he was just cueing the record back and forth. And his mom came in the room. He was like, "Yeah, Mom, what?" And, okay. Then all of a sudden he was like, "Hey, what's this?" And so he just started practicing it. I was like, "Oh, I invented something new." And he did it at a party, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's that?"
And look where it's gone.
Yeah.
95. And
He's created monsters. More girls. More girl DJs.
I like to see more DJs more DJs who aren't hip hop DJs give respect to hip hop DJs, the hardcore, because they're like taking our art form, and it seems like they diss and talk bad about us, but they don't even give respect to what they're doing. Yeah, all their techniques they're doing of mixing and queuing up and everything, came from us, and they don't give that respect. I think some DJs don't do that.
Most DJs nowadays aren't recognized. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to rap shows nowadays, and it's just the rappers on stage. No DJ, just like they have a DAP playing. It's like, what's that? The whole purpose of the show back in the days is when DJ controlled the music. You know what I'm saying? He was the main. He was like the most important part. Most important part of the whole show. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to see DJing more recognized as more of an art form, not just as a little fad. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I like to see is like turntable concerto, like classical turntable music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would be dope. Like orchestra strings and stuff like that.
You know what would be a trip is like how our grandkids are gonna look at us and be like, damn, grandpa used to scratch on those things, and it's like, in the future they'll have some kind of mechanism where you can scratch without the needles hopping everywhere. It'll be like it probably won't even be needles. It's some kind of mechanism where you can sample sound and you can touch it without the needles hopping everywhere. There's an infinity of stuff you can do, and people don't know that.
Yep. We'll take any sound and turn it into our own. Take any sound and turn it into our own.
Voices, beats, farts.
Anything.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the equipment here. Let's assume you guys know how to hook up turntables in a mixer. Okay, what do we got here, Rhett?
What we got here is the Vestax PDE 5000 direct drive turntable and the Vestax Streetmaster 5005 mixer. And what we're going to do is now explain to you the turntable features.
Okay, we got the start stop button, the 3345 button, the pitch control, and another thing is, let's talk about the needle and the weight adjustment. When you put the needle, what I like to do is I like to get my needle as close to the record as possible without letting the bottom of the stylus hit the record, because that'll make it bounce all over the place.
And what you want to do is adjust the turntable weights right here, because every needle's
Different.
Yeah, exactly. And what we'll also have here is the turntable slip mats.
Slip mats make the record move easier on the turntable. And some people like to put plastic under their slip mats to make it even slip more.
Alrighty. Now we're going to explain about the Vestax Streetmaster 5005 mixer features. What we got here is the master volume, and the master volumes for turntable 1 and turntable 2. And we got the crossfader here.
Also the monitor for the headphone cue. Right when you get your mixer, it's all stiff and stuff, so what we like to use is this stuff called tuner control spray. And let's see, what else do we have here?
Now we're going to get into some turntable setups. Basically what we got here is what we call the battle mode. This is what we like.
And the reason why it's like this is because being it this way, the turntable tone arms are out of the way, and so you don't have to jump over it, and it's faster to do tricks this way.
Now let's check out some other DJ setups. What you call the standard mode, basically the old-fashioned style. This is called the L mode. As you notice, it's shaped like an L. People like Robsters are known to use this. This is what you call the 69 mode. As you know, one turntable is regular standard, the other turntable is upside down. This is what you call the right-hand battle mode. The mixer's on the left-hand side, whereas the turntables are flushed together in battle mode style. This is what you call the left-hand standard mode. The turntables are flushed together standard-wise, and the mixer is on the right-hand side. This is called the duck rock style. This is made popular by the world-famous Supreme team. This style is called the doggy style. As you notice, the turntables are on top of each other. This is called the left-hand lateral. And the last one is called the hamster style, aka reverse fader, whereas the turntable inputs are reversed. What we're going to do is explain to you the fundamentals of mixing. Basically, mixing is one of the hardest things to accomplish when you first start to DJ. And you know, in order to learn how to scratch, you must learn how to mix. So what we're going to do is break down the fundamentals of mixing. So before we do that, let's introduce you counting the measures or musical bars. So Short, if you can play the song, please.
All right.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now with that, if you need a little help with counting the bars, you can nod your head or tap your feet. You can just go with the beat.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, that's what we're doing, is counting musical bars or measures. Now, what we're going to do now is break down to you the kick or the snare of the song, basically the drums. So, you know, can you cue that up?
The bass sounding part.
Right.
Bass sounding part is considered the kick. For the snare,
That's the high-pitched sound is called a snare. And what we're going to do is now, in order to mix, you must mix the snare of this song and match it up with the snare of that song. Basically, you're going to blend two songs together as one.
Okay.
Now that you got the kick and snare concept down, now we're going to do a more intricate part, mixing. So, Short?
Well, every mixer has a tuning system. On your tuning system, you have program B and program A. Program A is considered
Turntable 1.
Turntable 1. Program B is considered turntable 2. Now, right now I have program B playing. I like to cue up the program turntable 1. With that, I'll just switch over to program A, and with that, I can hear what I'm queuing up in my headphones.
And what we're going to do for visual purposes, we're going to put the fader in the middle. Usually you won't do this when you're really mixing, but we're going to do this so you can understand. There will be also a screening system on your screen to also monitor this, so you get a better understanding. You know, so basically imagine this, listen to this through the headphones. See, basically you hear the records playing at the same time, and this is also at the same time you're hearing this through the headphones. And we can tell there's a drastic change.
So with that, I'm trying to match this with that. What I'll do, it's a little slow right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully adjust the pitch control a little bit faster.
And basically there's also other techniques to do that. I mean, besides the pitch control, Short will also do is like either use the pitch control or use the slowing down the turntable torque on the side, gently or slowly, to either slow it down, or you can also use the label.
Right now it's a little slow. I'll have to speed it up. So one technique we do is just speed it up in the middle of the record gradually.
Notice as he's doing that, he's matching the beats together. But they're kind of going off beat again. So what he's going to do is slow it down. You can also catch the snare too. See, now he got it on beat. Yeah. So basically that's the fundamentals of mixing.
We're going to talk about backspinning. To other DJs, it's known as juggling or looping. What it is, it's continuously repeating two of the same records by using the crossfader, creating a continuous beat.
One thing that's helpful in learning this technique is properly marking your records. What we've done on these records is we have the beginning of both records marked to 12 o'clock, as you'd read on a clock. Not everybody does that, but only thing you have to do, make sure is that both records are identical. Mark to 3, 9 o'clock, whatever you'd like, but just make sure they're identical. When you get to the advanced stages, this will be very helpful because you won't be using the headphones to cue up anymore. You'll just be using the lines to follow where you're at. Shall I demonstrate?
Now with the mixing skills that we showed you earlier, the tuning system, you can hear what the record is, the beginning part of the record is. Just continuously keeping the beat in sync.
Of course, what we're doing here is very basic, but as you get more advanced, you can find your own style, find your own niche. But as of for right now, that's the basics of backspin.
Okay, let's get into some scratching. For you beginners, we'll start off with the basics. Okay? Now, first of all, we're going to do the baby scratch. This is the most basic scratch. It's also called the dawa dawa or the wiki wiki. It's, you don't use any fader, you just go back and forth with the record. Go ahead. All right, now let's hear it with the beat. And that's the baby scratch. This next scratch is called cutting. This involves a fader. Some people like to use a switch, some people like to use the up fader, and some people like to use the cross fader. Depends on what you like. Some people like to use all of them. That involves turning the sound on, the fader on, letting the sound play, turning the fader off, and then bring the sound back. That way you don't hear the back scrape. All you hear is the forward sound. Some people call it forward scratches. So you want to demonstrate some different types of cutting? And that's cutting. Okay, these are stabs. These are a higher form of cutting. It's faster. And also keep in mind that you can either release the record or you can hold it, making like different tones in the sound. Okay? Ready, Short? Those are stabs. Okay, this next scratch is called the military scratch. It's like a combination of a baby scratch and jabs. What I'm doing is I'm moving my hand constantly, and the fader is going on and off at random. See how it sounds like a march? That's why I call it military scratch. Okay? And that's the military scratch. Okay, these are drags. Drags are just basically moving the record slow forward or slow backwards. All right, so Babu's going to demonstrate drags with like the previous scratches we learned earlier. Those are drags. Okay, this is transforming. Basically what you're doing is moving the record slow, like a drag, and you're moving the fader fast. Once again, you can use other faders. Demonstrate. Yeah, that's transforming. Okay, let's go over the scratches that we learned so far. First was the basic scratch, which was the baby. Then we learned cutting. Then there was jabs or stabs. And then there was the military scratch. Drags. And then there was transforming. Okay, so now Shortkut's going to demonstrate combinations of all the scratches we learned so far. See if you could figure out which scratch is which. All right. So with those scratches, you can try them out and you can make up your own combinations. Good luck.
Bash dash, I had to break, I had to get away. Pack my bags to leave for good. It was. I'm not quite through. I got another funky break for you. Hit it. I'm not quite through. I got another funky break for you. Hit it. Got another funky break for you. Hit it. You. Got another funky funk break for you. Hit it. that you would grab me, undermine me, and backstab me, but I can see clearly now the rain is gone, the pain is gone, but what you did was still wrong.
is fat, but when I ask what do you think about my raps, your reply is
What?
Cause all you hear is blah 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 blah. You don't check the lyrical flows, you don't check the lyrical content. For all you care, I could just be flowing nonsense over the beats cause it move you. You wanna groove, but you don't even know what you're grooving to. Waving your hands back and forth, shouting the hook lines, but never really understanding my rhymes. Oblivious, even though I'm giving you this definition of how you shouldn't be missing this. Don't act like you know when you don't know the lyrics. So tell me one thing, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Spit it out. So unlock your brain, oh yeah, that's spirit. Well, tell me now, yo, can you hear it? Can you hear it? They say we take the notes and the chords and abuse it. They're always talking trash, dissing on a mission, just because we don't fit in the musical definition. But we're constantly creating, putting beats together, thinking up the ways to make the music sound more clever, evolving and evolving everything that we could think of. And we're rising, yes, we're rising up above the limits and the walls where they said that we would fall. But now in the 90s, hip-hop is standing tall, but we gotta keep progressing, encourage innovation, and strive for unity within the hip-hop nation. So play it loud and proud, DJ, turn it up. Or if you're in your ride, let it bump in your trunk. And if you get a ticket, so what, you can clear it. So if you see the man, say what up, can you hear it?